What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just getting started here tonight, guys. Got a new panel up on the desk tonight. Sketching in the sketchbook. Yeah. So that's how we're doing it tonight. Close the door so we don't have any school guests coming, other than cats. Cats will be in and out of the studio most likely. People time to filter in. All right. And we got a new. Yeah, guys. Welcome, 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 everyone. few things going on. We got brand new goal on Twitch. We got 5 new followers from last week on the stream, which blows me away, guys. Holy shit. Thank you so much. So yeah. New goal of 10 followers. Would love to see if we could hit that. So let people share the stream with your friends. Let them know that, hey, we're streaming and this is what we're doing. This is what it's all about. Ow. I lost my... I dropped. There we go. Pardon the eye drops. Pin that one. Oh, we got 6 followers. So we only need 4 left here on Twitch. We are working on 300 over on YouTube. So if you are new here, I would love to follow. Your follow, your sub will help gratefully. So yeah. I'm gonna get into it. Yes. But yeah. We wrapped these guys up last week. All the embroidery is now done. They have been photographed. Photographs have been edited. They'll be live on the website probably sometime mid-June. Because I like to give my galleries a chance to have exclusivity to the piece when they get it. So that way they're not just spoiled before the show opens. So these don't go live on the website until later on. We do gotta pack them up. I got glassine on the way to help protect those in transit. If you were not aware of what glassine is, it is a much better protective barrier, more archival, and it won't stick to varnish, which is clutch. When you varnish your pieces, if you actually put bubble wrap directly on varnish, even if it's cured, even if it's dried for like days on end, there is still a chance of it sticking to that. Let's try to zoom back out. I gotta be careful with my hands. I genuflect way too much with my hands, and I love the camera, but it's very sensitive to me gesturing wildly. So we are hopefully going to get... I might just have to lock it in place. As much as I like this feature, it's definitely one of those things. I see we got some extra viewers on Twitch. That's awesome. Yeah. I see you lurking in there, and that is totally cool. But feel free to drop in the chat. Let me know who you are. There we go. Stop it. There we go. I'm going to take off auto framing, so it will be a little better with that. So yeah. Adjust the camera. There we go. So you can get a better view of what we're working on tonight. Nothing crazy right now. The panel's still very blank. Um, Not going to be. Is that my kid? Kid is getting as much sunlight as possible, and I'm here for it. I think he just ran to the front door. Yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love that kid. So yeah, if you got questions about like how to connect with galleries, what do you do when you're there? Because I feel like that's something that not enough people talk about. Is what do you do when you are actually at the gallery? Um, because it feels like an easy question or an easy answer to a question, but it can be really difficult sometimes when you are actually at the gallery, um, trying to figure out what to do. So I can absolutely understand that for some people it might not know what's going on and why you should be doing some things, like I said, etiquette wise, and also just for marketing yourself. Dropping stuff in the YouTube chat as well. Pin that message. There we go. Okay. All right. You guys a little quiet, guys. I know what you guys are up to tonight, too. Anything you working on? Always want to hear from you. Ooh, excuse me. It's a quiet night. It's a quiet night. I get it. Sometimes it's just the way it happens. We're currently in that what I think I would call like the boring stage of creating. I'm not actively painting. This is a lot of noodling. Um, just in the sketchbook right now. Yeah, guys. Look at me. Not the most exciting. If you also have suggestions on different camera angles that you may or may not want to see, I would absolutely appreciate any kind of suggestions here. I'm always trying to make the stream better. And I would love to see what you guys want to see me do more of in these streams. So any suggestion you have, drop them in the comments for me. So I can keep making this an enjoyable experience for you guys. Oh god. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Sorry guys. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I wish I was a little more excited tonight. This is one of those. I guess one of those nights. I don't know. Just drained from the day, and I apologize that that is coming out in the stream. That is not my intention. I want to be here for you guys to answer questions, whoever shows up. Because I feel like that's super important. But sometimes it's just not how you're feeling, I guess. I don't know. Again, sorry. Not the way I want to let the stream go. But yeah. Still 995. Yeah, still go. That's good. Whew. The arm up there. Anatomy. It's one of those things that's obviously a huge part when drawing characters and any kind of character-driven work. My God, it is annoying sometimes. I want to make sure the anatomy is good because honestly, it gets really weird, the uncanny valley, when the anatomy just doesn't fit right. If you are out there viewing, drop something in the chat. I want to know you're here. It doesn't have to be a question, just a hi in the chat. It's really nice to hear from you guys. Thank you. Floating crown. Wheels. That's nice. How are we doing, guys? Y'all are very quiet tonight, and I can appreciate that. It's a Wednesday night, not much going on. So yeah, guys. So yeah, this has been a new struggle for me, is actually developing the story that I'm telling. For anyone who's new here, I've been doing a lot. I used to do a lot of still life based work, where you could. There was no real narrative. You could try to make something up based off of, the collection of objects, mainly some form of skull. I always added mushrooms and sometimes a bug. Like that was my like trifecta of 3 items. Though towards the end of my still life era, I was doing adding more man-made objects, a lot of daggers, swords, broken weaponry was a big thing, big piece of imagery that I was working with. Um, but yeah, now it's a lot more character driven, and there's been a lot more consideration into the story that's being told with each piece. And I had grand ideas of maybe eventually connecting the pieces together in this more involved universe, but I'm not there yet. Plus, depending on the shows, I've been doing a lot of work for shows specifically, and each show has a different theme, and sometimes it's hard to connect those themes. Like, just wrapped up pieces for the circus theme show at Stranger Factory. The current theme I'm working on is definitely more of a generic theme called As Above, So Below. So the theme is pretty much open. It just, the piece has to be flipped, well, should be able to be viewed from 2 different angles. As in like flipping it over, which I really love. I've done the show before with Arch Enemy, and I'm stoked to be able to do it again. They actually, during the opening night of it, they actually go through and halfway through First Friday opening night, they actually go ahead and they flip all the pieces 180 to show the other side. And it's such a cool thing to see as they meticulously go through and then rotate every single piece. I've seen people who've made their life easy by putting it on like some kind of lazy Susan apparatus. That's a bit much for myself, though I do make sure I have hanging wire on both sides to make it easy there. And then we got a Celestial themed show, which I'm really stoked for. Again, a little more pinpointed in its theme, but not as a little more restrictive, though I'm definitely using my love of horror to be doing something for that show. Uh, Especially my cosmic horror, classic Lovecraftian style horror there, creating one form of creature, mainly because I really enjoy painting tentacles, especially octopus. Tentacles, I really got into that with a underwater theme piece, which was really cool seeing the tentacles come out of the skull. So I'm kind of repurposing an old idea, but fleshing it out more into a character, which is going to be sick as hell. I'm still debating on this death character they have. So I have a death figure, and was originally a soldier, but it's developing more into a regal figure because I just like the idea of having a crown on the top of the head. Um, Maybe it's indicative of the current climate out here in the U.S. Who knows? Um, Especially with the more regal figure with swords in their back, relinquishing their heart to death. So, wasn't my original intention, but somehow we got there. But yeah. Like, I think I've settled on some kind of feline for the royal figure. It just feels good. Plus, I love painting me my cat skulls. Like, I can't go a year without painting at least one cat skull, and this will be my second cat skull. Though the first one was a Janus cat, the Two-Faced cat, for my Two-Faced Man piece. That was really interesting to paint. Very different, like a lot different than anything I've really painted skull-wise. So, really intriguing. But this death character is stumping me. I'm trying to figure out different kinds of animals associated with death, and they're just all over the board depending on what culture you want to look at. So that's kind of where I'm stuck right now with that. It's finding what's going to fit narratively with the story. Like just a quick Google search with like animals connected with death and owl, which I never personally thought of that. Like crows and ravens, definitely on that list. Vulture, absolutely on that list. And we're doing the thing again. There we go. Stop zooming me in. Camera, you know better. But some I didn't know, like Jackal, didn't really associate that with death. Stop it. It really wants to zoom in on me. I thought. Okay, that's better. So yeah, now dragonfly did not associate that with death. Rat, I can see that. That makes sense. Moth. I know there's the death head moth, so that is one of those that I think that makes sense ancillarily. But some of these I just don't know. So I'm toying around with animals and stop. It really wants to. Alright, I need to see about turning off hand gestures on my camera. Because right now, it is auto framing, zoom. There we go. So now, okay, cool. We've turned off gesture mode. Sorry about the potential vertigo, guys, of just zooming in and out there. That was not my intention. Yeah. So what do we say? I don't think I want to do a jackal skull. Like I like the raven. A vulture could. A vulture could be really. Really interesting. Stop zooming in on me. Okay. Just really wants to zoom in on me. I actually did a vulture skull in an old piece. That sold. It was really nice. Okay. Vulture skull could be really nice. And definitely more of a carrion individual. I like the thought behind that. Yeah. Kind of a weird place with this piece. Like the concept that I have generally figured out, it's going to be now refining the sketch. Honestly, I think it's not a half bad idea to bring out camera and stop. Stop auto framing me. There we go. How we doing, everybody? It's definitely a super important thing when you are working on the prep stage, just getting everything aligned. Definitely important to make sure you have your proportions right, especially when you're doing thumbnails. Highly recommend. On the plus side, the panel I'm working on is a 12 by 24 foot, so converting that down to inches and even scaling it up and down is so easy. Like doing 6 inches by 3 inches with my tiny ruler has been critical in this. But yeah. I gotta kind of figure out. Trying to plot out where things go. So yeah. Math. This is a really weirdly specific thing that makes art work. That's an appropriate song to come on this time. Hell yeah. Here we go. Get my sharpener out. Oh, good. turns into a just me stream, I'm okay with that. It at least shows, all the platforms that, hey, I am here, which is just as important. Though I do love when you guys can come on and chat with me. Put that up. Oh, that's great. I just realized they spelled gallery on YouTube. Hell yeah. That's too high. Well, that could be. Okay, that could work. Progress. Whew. Yes, okay. If we needed to change up the scale. But now I may have made them too small. Damn it. But no, this is good progress. Unless the heart's floating, that could be cool as shit. Foreshorten that. Okay, cool. Progress. Fucking progress. Well, what if we now... Might do a vulture. I need more thumbnail spaces because the idea is finally developed. Iteration is the name of the game with this today. It's all about small iterative changes, and that helps the development of a piece. And that is what we're working with tonight. We're getting this piece slowly but surely developed. Bam. Mark out places. Think. Don't want to. Heart in the middle. We're getting there. Too much. Mm. Maybe. I think we're getting there, guys. Addie's I don't like that. We're so close. I like having a central We're getting so close, man. We're gonna switch camera views really quick, guys. So I will be right back. I want to actually give you a view of what we're working on the sketchbook instead of off in the side here. So give me a second. I'll be right back. And we are back. There we go. This gives you guys a better view of what I'm actually working on and the noodling process I've been going through. So this was iteration number 1. Characters not having a lot of interaction, just one on either side of the panel. Developed into this guy. But I really want to showcase this piece with this being the top and this being the bottom, or vice versa when they switch it, not the long ways. As cool as this looks, I do like this. So far, that's looking good. And this one here, I think, is a better version of the previous one with the characters scaled down. It provides a lot more space for the characters. Which that's really nice. This is the current working one. It's a little harder to see right now because I'm working it with a 6H pencil, so really light lines. Sorry for that. But the bottom of the characters are actually at the short edges of the panel, and for the death figure, fills up the space beautifully. The scythe is nice and long. That's going to fill in a lot of room there. But our royal figure up here, yeah, he'll have a crown here on top, looking up. But this space right here just ends up being super empty, and I don't know. The only thing I could think about doing is the royal figure has swords in their back. I could think about adding them to the front. I just don't know if that's the right way to go. Honestly, this guy over here has been like... It's definitely... I will have to display it long ways, top and bottom. But I think so far this one works the best. So yeah, kind of leaning toward this guy. There's just this thumbnail right now is telling a better story overall, and I think that's what I really want it to be. It fills the space. I like how I have these 3 circles here connecting, which will be painted in gold paint, and it still leaves plenty of room for any kind of embroidery that I want to do around the actual halos, because I think this one's going to be, the stories obviously tell more through the painting here, but I want to make sure I have space and room for embroidery to add elements. So I think that might be how I go about it. I just need to. Yeah. So that's good. At least I have my general. What that means, I can. Don't have to have that so far up. Yes. Like this is, yeah. I'm loving this concept. A little bit more of a hunch to their back death, trying to make him look a little more distended. Make the anatomy look a little less human. And I can still have the swords back there. Honestly, maybe have the swords coming through. That could be really cool. Have the tips and then little drips of blood coming down off of the swords. I don't know. That's gonna be good. Cool. Add a little bit more of a gruesome take. Definitely a little more gruesome than I normally do, but I think that would be really nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right. You guys, yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do this. A nice long piece. It's not a format I've worked in generally as much, but I think it works. I think this guy right here is how we're gonna progress. I just need to figure out. I want to keep the beak shorter here, so this is definitely no longer going to be a raven because I don't want that interfering with the heart. So definitely don't want to do that. So either vulture or owl for the death figure. I think I definitely am leaning on some kind of bird. It's death is going to be a bird. Um, just going to be the way it is. So yeah, I like this. All right, cool. This is all part of the process. You gotta. It's noodling. It's getting through to what actually needs to be done.
A week goes by and it goes untouched. And a month and the rest of your life you beat yourself up. Alright, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Sorry about that little bit of inactivity. It's a matter of trying to actually get things done. Can you zoom in there? There we go. There we go. Got a better idea of what we're working with here. Let's actually switch to the dark pencil. The plus side, what I can do is now at least these measurements that I have for blocking this piece out, I can actually do that to the panel now, which is so nice. So at least I know what's going where now. I love when, again, I'm not a huge fan of math, but when it works out in my favor for a piece of art, I will fucking take it. I was gonna love it when your panels are not necessarily the same goddamn size. But what are you gonna do? I mean, it's just one of those things where you gotta work with what you got. Oh, boy, actually. Eat the rich. Eat the rich. Oh, that's so nice. We're good. All right. Measurements over on the panel. So we got that there. Let's get this figured out. I definitely I've been doing a lot of again, part of the whole process of planning the next piece, any piece for that matters, all in the research. It's boring as shit, but it is absolutely vital to making sure that, your work of art turns out the way you envision it. And one thing that I loved, especially about the death figures, was the style of scythe for death. And I think that's been super cool. I love this more utilitarian farm style scythe, where it looks very much utilitarian versus the very stylistic versions of the scythe that we see in most media when it comes to death. So, yeah. Just providing that more utilitarian look. I don't know, grounds it. It's a lot nicer. I like the concept behind it. Yeah, I'm also liking the silhouette of the death. Just in this, just the way they're constructed, death looks a lot more hunched. Like they're trying to fit in the frame, and that gives them a little more presence. Where it looks like they're bigger than they really are. Where the spine of this figure is a lot more, even though it's a character that is dying, it's with the swords in its back. It has that straighter, and maybe that's due narratively to the regal aspect I am now providing it. Who knows? I also love this concept of doing this floating crown. I don't know. It looks cool as hell. I don't know. It adds a nice otherworldliness to it. So yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this aspect. But yeah, no, we're definitely getting somewhere now. I'm loving this. Got that hard. Yeah, we're going good. This is good. We're getting there. We are figuring out the actual theme behind this one. The heart's got to come back center. That'll be something I figure out. Because I want it directly in the center of this kind of halo. I really have been loving using halos in my work, especially you see in classical, like, Renaissance era pieces with religious figures. I like reclaiming that for non-religious works. It adds this sense of the divine, and I'm okay with making the divine a little more morbid. You know, paid my dues as a Christian. I can do what I want with it now. Ain't nothing they can do about it. So yeah. I gotta figure out colors for the panel. Um, I normally dye the wood of the panel to help set a mood, but obviously we have a piece that has this kind of division in the story, so I can lean into that with the dye. I can also work on actually like painting a fucking background. Go figure. Yeah. No, I like this, what we're doing here. I know this character is going to have. All of my characters wear these cloaks, these shrouds, so to speak. I started doing a. The original concept was just these geometric kind of like. Here is a black shape, and then let me slap a skull onto it. Very geometric in shape, no real defining features. They occasionally had hands that were floating around doing stuff, very Rayman-esque. But I don't know, the graphic style of this really never sat well with me. So they started to evolve into, okay, well, they clearly have an interior and an exterior, so how can we showcase that? The skull is inside of this, and then the shape accommodated the hands too. To more recent, where it's just like at this point in time, they are just cloaks. There's very little to nothing underneath the cloak. All you ever do see are the heads, the skeletal hands, and a little bit of the forearm. But that's really it. There's never really anything on the inside of these characters. I did play around with actually painting stuff on the inside with two pieces for a tarot show, just to add more depth to the characters. That was fun as hell. But it's not a necessity that I have to add something to the interior of my characters every single time. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, I like where we're going, guys. This is definitely the direction I wanted this to head. Yeah, I love the idea that this character is hunched over trying to fit into the frame. It makes it feel like they're taller, towering over this character, when in reality they are, measurement wise, the same freaking size. But again, narratively, it tells a more compelling story, I think. Also, the size of the cloak helps dictate. Hey, this is their the length. There's more empty space here than there is here to dictate. Yeah, this character has a much more imposing figure that they aren't fully letting onto. So, but yeah, I mean, Death has to have a more ragged cloak. Um, it has to. Death sees some shit. Hand, arm. Definitely. Yeah. Yes. Still gonna figure out that skull. That one's killing me. I don't know if it's gonna be owl or vulture, but definitely something with a shorter beak than your raven or crow. Like, I could potentially do it. I would just have to angle up the skull so it would be more looking in an upward direction. I just don't think I want that. I kind of like this looking at each other, even though they make zero eye contact. There's still that the eyes are focused on the other. And I definitely think with the death figure to add into that etherealness, I'm gonna add like a pinprick of light in the middle of the eye with like some wispy smoke coming out of it. I don't know. I feel like that it might sell it. I'm not fully sold on the concept of it, but it could be cool. Because again, I don't really paint eyes in these skulls and just give them their body with a skull, and then generally it works for them. Though, again, trying some new things out this one. I feel like this is also the first one where there is a story here. I haven't fully figured out what that story is, but there is a story. A lot of my previous characters are depictions of a type of a not a stereotype, but an archetype. The circus pieces were very much just depictions of circus acts, or in this case, sideshow acts within the actual work. I mean, I still have like the sketches in here. So yeah, my sword swallower and my two-faced man, like these were not characters telling a story. They were just depictions of characters. The sword swallower initially was the human pincushion, so I was playing around with that, holding a hammer. It just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Um, this piece was a fantastic one. For the Pathways to Helsing show, based off of my one of my kids' favorite bedtime stories about two turtles. So that was just a fun piece of. But even then, like we're we're doing going wildly off topic here, but like this is why sketchbooks are so important, because you never know what is going to work and what isn't. Like the theme for this piece, or what eventually this piece turned into, was safe and sound. So it was very much I initially started a very much bear figure, with a small cub child, shields, some kind of embrace. I don't always do multiple arms, but this initial one felt like having multiple arms was a good thing, though eventually came down to more basic human proportions, just two hands, one holding the shield, one holding the sword, the child figure with a little moth. The book had butterflies, but I wanted to paint little moths because little moths are absolutely stunning. and I just like them more. I enjoy painting them. So that was really fun. So yeah, sketchbooks, man. Keep a good one, but don't never feel like you have to maintain the most pristine sketchbook in the world, because those goals are ludicrous and are made up by people who don't fucking know better. This one here, if any nerds watching, might recognize some of the symbols that I have out here. I do have plans on making a Witcher piece somewhere down the line. I don't know when. Might not be till next year. Might not be till later this year. But I also have a skateboard piece I want to work on, which that sketch was somewhere back here. Yeah. Working on the concept of the crystal sword, an Aesop Rock song, which I loved. I'm like, ooh, I like the name of that. Let me actually develop something out. Just gotta figure out character-wise. But you can see also just a lot of these little thumbnail sketches. Like, this is the As Above, So Below piece, or what it started out as. Yes! Brangy, welcome in. Yeah, The Witcher, the Witcher signs, hell yeah. I love that. I have taken a long hiatus on The Witcher, because I got stuck on the Blood and Wine final boss. That fucking vampire was kicking my ass. And yeah. So I've been playing other games, so glad having Nerd here. Yay! You'll forgive me, Brang. I don't know if I know you in the real world or not, but that is awesome. Because quite frankly, I don't know everyone's handles. But yeah. But yeah, Witcher piece idea. That's still a work in progress. That is not, and I don't even. This was a sketch from a while ago. I don't even know if this is going to make it into the final thing. But I love the idea of having the skeletal hands casting each of the signs. So that's why this guy. I was originally going to do like 4 hands with one of them. What was it? It was. I'm gonna hoard. Yeah. Oh, Renaya. Hell yeah. I was like, wait, Frank. That sounds familiar. That sounds super familiar to your Discord handle. So I'm like, I just didn't want to assume. But yeah. So there we go. A peek into what is potentially going to happen, and the shit I do when you watch my kid. But yeah. We're starting some new pieces because we actually finished the why can't I think of it? The circus pieces. They got finished up last week. I'm not bringing those on because your husband printed out the banners. Let me actually zoom out the camera here so you can get a better view. Boop. Trying to get it so there's not. I got the damn light over top, so you'll have to forgive the. Why can't I think of it? But yeah, just finished these guys up last week. The embroidery is all done. The banners are so damn good. I don't know. Like, I could have painted these on, and it would have looked fine. But having the 3D banner at the top just brings these pieces to a whole new level. Like, between the shape of the panel, the characters, and the banners, it just brings it. So that's the Two-Faced Man. I'll grab the Sword Swallower here. Trying to get it there. But yeah. these 3D banners absolutely do the work here with this, and I absolutely they turned out so good. Um, oh my god, yeah. I actually just took pictures of these today for going up on the website. So yeah, they look great on camera. The pictures turned out great. Thank you, and again, thank you to your husband, Bill. It's been awesome. Those were so great. But yeah, glad you could finally hop on a stream. I was just kind of talking about the new piece I'm working on. So I've got a new show actually coming up. Just heard from Why Can't I Think of It? Arch Enemy Arts. Finally heard back from them after bugging them. I'm doing 2 more shows with them this year. Yeah, it was worth the broken drill bits. Luckily, I can get though. Like I have extras. Didn't enjoy it in the time, but yeah. But I got 2 new shows with them coming up later this year, which is fantastic. So I'm doing As Above, So Below. So just the piece can be turned. And I've been working on like iterative thumbnails of these 2 characters of a death figure and this kind of royal figure. So we're working on the most recent iteration of that, and I think this is kind of where we're landing for that new piece. Um, Now I'm like wondering, hmm. Now I'm really wondering like how much I can bug Bill. Be like, hey, how many more 3D printed stuff? But I think this one would require a lot more custom stuff versus files I bought off of Etsy. But yeah. So this is what we've been working on tonight. Yeah. I wonder if Rin has a CNC, like a small tabletop CNC machine, because that might be some better stuff to be able to create on a slightly larger scale. Because that's, I also think, the limitation I'm going to run into with commissioning Bill for 3D printed parts is that I can only. He's a lot more limited in the size he can create, and this panel is a 12 by 24. That's good though. 3D modeling is definitely a skill that I do not have yet. Though it feels like something I should try out at least. I'm sure there's free 3D software out there. But yeah, always down to try something new. But yeah. But still, I like where I'm going with this guy. I also just really enjoy this show. Like, this is the second time I will be in As Above, So Below at Arch Enemy Arts. And I actually sold my last piece from As Above, So Below. So that was really fun. So bodes well for adding a new piece. Plus, I haven't been there in a while, so I'm really excited to showcase this newer direction I've been going. It's a little scary because the last time I had a solo show, last time I showed there was my solo show, which was all new, which was the last time I made anything new, and it was still very still life driven, and I love those pieces. Only sold one out of that show, but having these more character-driven. This is the first time these character-driven pieces are going to be at Arch Enemy Arts, and that's really cool. But it's also really scary at the same time because I know people will like them. I know that deep down, like, yeah, people are going to see these and they're going to be like, that's cool as shit. But it's also like anyone who has been a collector of mine will obviously be familiar with my respective body of work, especially that I've showcased within Arch Enemy Arts. So this is brand new. Like, I've been showcasing the style for a while. Last year I did 2 shows with Stranger Factory that had these figures. Obviously, I've got the show in June for the circus, Big Top Menagerie. That is also these figures, but this will be the first one at Arch Enemy Arts that has these figures. And it's scary to actually, like, come in with something brand new that I have not showcased before there. But I know a lot of my fears are unfounded. I know it's gonna be a hit with a lot of people there. Like Noah, one of the owners, absolutely. I've been showing him the stuff I was working on for Stranger Factory, and he was like, "Okay, I want you back. I need this kind of stuff in my gallery." So that's been great. And then Lauren is a fantastic human. She's also just very hard to read at times. But they are both beautiful individuals, and I love working with them. But yeah, I don't know if you got any kind of suggestions for a death character. Um, I've been doing so much research into um, having of like what kind of animal skull for a death figure. I was originally doing a very much a raven crow kind of skull. Like you can kind of see here, this long elongated skull. You can even see it over here. But in the current iteration, especially the layout, that long ass fucking beak just does not work, especially when you have a heart. Having the fear keeps one from being too arrogant about it. Hell yes. Yeah. I had a script for that in one video, or that was an idea for a video of at one time, but yeah. Fear keeps one from being too arrogant. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Renai, because that's probably going to be an upcoming video going forward. I love that. Fear keeps you from being too arrogant. Hell yeah. I like that. Thank you for that. Um, but yeah, I've been working on that, trying to figure out like what skull this character is. I've got feline for this royal figure, mainly because I really just wanted to paint a crown. Hell yeah. Um, and like I love the idea of like, okay, a lion, king. There's the royal connotations there. I know ram is cool. Yes, that's yes. That's obviously the reason I keep you around, Ranak. Jeez. Oh boy. But no, I appreciate you coming over and watching the kids so I can do shit like this and make my silly videos while you watch my child. But yeah, so figuring out this figure right now is kind of where I'm stuck. I think I like the idea of keeping a bird. An owl has been floating around. A vulture has been floating around as an idea. I just don't know. I have a nightmare fuel dream. I wish I could draw what I see because I think that'd be something to work with. Oh, that's a cool. You brought that up, and that's a cool concept. That's actually a script I just worked on. It might be a video coming up. Um, and the concept is you cannot teach creativity, but you can teach technical skill. Um, Obviously, for some, it takes longer. But to be fair, I've been doing this stuff since I was streaming on TikTok this afternoon. I was chatting with somebody, and it's like, holy shit, I have essentially been drawing, painting, making art since I was about 7 years old. So we're talking like 33 years this year, because I'll be turning 40 this year. So that's crazy. Um, but a lot of people, I love the concept. It's like, yeah, creativity is kind of always is going to have to be something inherently within you. You may not necessarily develop it from the get go. It might be something later on in life you develop, but it's all about kind of like a story, or like there's a part of you that you want to express. It's just about taking the time to develop those technical skills to do that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I was gonna say, really, Renee, you're gonna go there. We're not gonna call a spade, or what is it? Pot, kettle, pot, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's weird. It is weird. Just realizing, like, holy shit, I am going to be 40 this year. Oh, yeah. I'm generally, honestly, that it's fine. I'm I'm torn. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I'm 40, I'm so old. Like, I am still gonna be the probably still gonna think I can do more than I can actually do, especially chasing after little man. Um, I'm gonna do stupid things. Like I think I'm pretty positive you've seen the park up the street from us. They have that spider web net thing that goes up the sky. There's like, whenever we get there, I climb it all the way to the top, and I'm like, this was dumb. I'm going to potentially fall and break my ass, but hey, it's fun. But at the same time, it's one of those, like, if I stop having fun and stop doing the dumb shit, then it's like that's when I know I'm like, okay, gotta change it up. Age and even being fun, it's even more. Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely lends in. I don't think I actually showed you. I never got a chance to show you the final piece because I had to deliver it way back in May. But like you were talking about being a father, like this sketch right here was for a piece for Safe and Sound for the Pathways to Health, and it's actually based off one of Little Man's favorite books. Um, you Are My Happy, about two little turtles having fun, spending the day together. It turned into this kind of like awesome like fantasy based piece. I'll have to share the actual like picture. Actually, no, it's on my website. You're obviously near a computer or on your phone, so you can absolutely do that. It's in my portfolio on my website. Like it's like the first one. Such a good piece, and yet you were talking about being a father lends even more to my work. Like this was legit just a piece about being a dad. But yeah, that was good. Hell yeah, yeah. Nah, I really need to develop this guy. As like I said, I got that fresh new panel over here, which I'm excited for. Having a new panel is always equal parts scary as hell and exciting. Because having that fresh panel, like, cool, endless possibilities, all that BS. But it's also like having to make that first step and first marks on the actual panel. Um, that's scary as hell sometimes. I think definitely. I don't know. As far as his death character, I'm leaning towards. Like either a vulture or an owl at this point in time. Ready, ready. What's up? What's up? What's up? Like, I love the vulture because it has that nice big bulbous beak at the end. You ever get analysis? Yes. Oh my god. It comes in waves. Like right now, like this entire stream has been me like working on just this stupid little sketch. Um, like this was the initial one, but it felt very disconnect. They felt disconnected from each other, and now it's just been like tiny iterative changes, which haven't changed much. And then I got too far, and then I started second guessing throughout the night on all that. It's yeah. I think that also during the painting process, what you call analysis paralysis, like I've called the ugly stage. A friend of mine on TikTok actually, I've been chatting with him. Like, did a video. I stitched one of his videos. He called it the freak out phase. I'm like, that is perfect. That's a perfect descriptor of what happens. That momentary like brain freak out where I'm like, nothing is working. It feels dumb, and I want to throw it in the goddamn fire. And it's like that has been that is probably where I think the analysis paralysis comes in even more so. But yeah, it was definitely but yeah, that ugly stage is can be debilitating. Oh man, and I had someone on Twitch. That's a bot. Best viewers on streamboo.com. That's a porn site. They're consistent at least. I think I've had a bot that has been trying to get me to go to streamboo.com consistently every stream. But that's hilarious. Oh man. Yeah, I think I'm liking vulture skulls for this guy. But yeah, I think that is what we're gonna do. That's gonna get me the best kind of feel to give. I know. I gotta see if there's a way to block, especially on Twitch. That's it's only ever happened on Twitch so far. Like they don't even stick around for a view. Like I can't even like come on, you come in, drop this dumbass link. So stupid. Alright, yeah. This is good. I like it. I think I've noodled over this for so goddamn long tonight, and I finally got there. That's definitely been the benefit of these streams, is it doesn't feel like I am, even when no one is in the chat and no one is watching, it's still talking, even if it's talking into the void. Sometimes it's good to just talk in general and get these concepts out of my head. So yeah, but obviously when people jump in, even better, because then I can bounce ideas off of people, which is always great. Always super fun to have viewers come in, and it's always almost always consistent. Where no matter when I stream, yeah, like there's at least one person. Like I did an afternoon, this like a lunchtime afternoon stream on TikTok. And I had someone check in from Italy, like an artist from Italy, and that was so cool just to talk and just converse with someone I would never have gotten the chance to speak with outside of a TikTok stream. And that was cool as hell. Um, yeah. But yeah, it definitely helps talking about. I enjoy it. This is I need to just I'm looking forward to when I build out the studio in the basement. Because I'm gonna have a little like sitting area for Nikita so she can kind of just chill out, sit there, and just be in the corner and be a presence in the studio while I'm working, and I can bounce ideas off of her when need be. And I think that'll be really beneficial. Yeah. Hell, even last week I was talking with someone from England. Though, and it was a night stream too, like I'm doing now, and it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I'm like, go to bed. What are you doing? You're insane. At least the individual from Italy this afternoon, she said it was 8 o'clock where she was, and it's like, yeah, I get that. Please go to bed. Don't. Unless it was 8 this morning. I don't. Time zones. Time zones are weird. Fucking hell. I forget. Yeah. No, it would have been 8 at night for her. But yeah, time zones are funny like that. So it's been cool. It's been a cool experience doing all these streams. I'm just hoping I can eventually get my OBS program to actually multi-stream to TikTok, because either TikTok is not liking OBS or OBS doesn't like TikTok, and I don't know what it is. When I used to watch Twitch, it's past me. Yeah, well, yeah. If you're on the other side of the world, you stream when you can without consideration of when other people are awake. That is always something to consider. Like, hey, you're a big streamer, you're on the other side of the world, but your fan base is in the United States. Do you tweak your stream time to accommodate more of your viewer base? I don't know. I'm lucky luckily most of my followers and subscribers are United States driven, but apparently my stream viewers are very much international, which is hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm looking at the time. We've been streaming for 2 hours, and that is awesome. So this, I think, is officially now my longest stream. I don't think I've gone past the 2 hour mark ever. I always end up cutting it short. Yeah, that would make sense. Like, change up your stream times to accommodate where the most of your viewers are. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was looking at the time and I'm like, I should clock out because I'm also feeling like I'm mentally wiped after working on this iterative process throughout the night. And I'm just like, I can put it on the panel another day. Because I'm also like, I'm starting to get that brain fry moment where if I keep looking at this, I'm going to go a little crazy. And honestly, I should probably check in with Little Man to begin at also, and give the wife a bit of a break because work has been killer there. So hey, Renee, thanks for hopping on. Thank you for catching the stream. Super appreciated. I think you're already subscribed to me here on YouTube. Yeah, just want to say, listen, I call you for yay. Yes, time for me to rest. I think this studio night has been a success. But yeah, it's good chatting with you, Renata. Thanks again for sticking it out with me near the end here. I will let little man know that his aunt says good night. Hell yeah. Yeah. And if you got Twitch, go feel free to follow over there because that helps out too. I got a goal of 10 followers I'm trying to get to over there. But hey, again, thank you for sticking it out with me, Renai. I appreciate chatting with you. And I will let little man, who I'm hearing the pitter patter, was letting me know it's bedtime. I'll catch you there. And I will absolutely give him a hug. Thanks for chatting. And hey, have a nice night.